I wish I can play like guitar. You know, every time it's like a innate reflex, right? When you hear guitars, it make, and it's good guitar playing. Make like the white man syndrome. I think they got like a whole. I seen it on Good Morning America. They got a whole live like air guitar competition. Like boys be out there performing air guitar. Serious. Hey man, if you ain't out there being great at something, you failing yourself. There's something for everything, man. I seen the on ESPN. It was it what's that shit? Vanessa, what's the shit with the ice? And they push the rock and they fucking sweep. Whatever the fuck that is. Listen, man, if you was a person with the void of athleticism, that's the kind of sports you will get into right there. You'll get into whatever the fuck that is. Rocks, brush. Hey man, you picked up a broom one day, you're like, ain't nobody fucking sweep like me. There ain't a motherfucker alive that can sweep like me. And I bet you I can make a rock go fast or slow, depending on how I sweep, if it slid on some ice. That's my calling. Welcome to the Trill Talk Podcast. I'm your boy, Dre Brown. Yo. Welcome. And I'm joined by a near and dear friend of mine, Corey, the work Vanessa. Say what's up to the people, Corey. What's up? Clap it up.
Oh, another one.
And another one. This is episode 8. Yo, why does this feel so hard? Like remember it used to be like the West Side, like was like the automatic pose.
Yeah.
People put up and then it was this thing, whatever this is. People started doing this Young Money type shit. And I get now you throw the foes. I bet you motherfuckers that means something in their neighborhoods and been meaning something to seeing you just see this random piss you the fuck anyway. Welcome to the Trill Talk Podcast. Welcome back, man. For our first time viewers, return viewers, family, I'm glad y'all back. First time viewers, welcome. This is a podcast where we start them conversations. We initiate discussions, right? We're not the end all be all here. We don't claim to be. Listen, man, I don't got a formal expertise in anything outside of I got a black belt at minding my business. That's key. That's key to state. It's a character flaw in most people. And then 2, I'm an expert out here living life. I live life. You can't close yourself off to possibilities and opportunities due to segue right into this, right? So last week we talked about the bullshit contract of the $1,500 to build to put the studs up and we said, guess what? You a nigga. So guess what? I feel like that's equivalent. That's a wash. I'll do it. So they deliver all that wood. Vanessa, man, it was kind of overwhelming when you see, what is it? Over 100 pieces of like lumber, like 2x4s. Over 100 of these bad boys. And there's nothing on the ground yet. There's nothing put together yet. You just looking at the shits, looking at the mountain, and you at the base of it, right? And a lot of people transfer their fears or their limitations. They put it on you. Oh, you shouldn't do that, man. That's crazy. Ooh, why would you try some shit like that? Ooh, all right. They may be valid, and they may be telling you something really not from like a hold you back like kind of thing, right? More from a they're giving you their best information or their best knowledge at this point that they got based upon their experiences and the things that's happened with them, right? Based upon those things. They may not be applicable to you. They may not be the same kind of formula that apply to you. You may be capable of different. I don't want to say better, because people get triggered when you say you're better. I don't want to get into my position on that. I feel like we all start somewhat equal. I didn't start. My kids didn't start the same like Bill Gates' kids started. So I don't know how equal you can call it, but you have the equal capability to a certain extent. It may be a harder stretch for some than others, but no path in the American dream is denied to anyone. But there's people that work harder at it than others. And I believe you should be applauded inside of that, because you earned that. Like I said, you wasn't born with it. You worked hard to obtain this knowledge, this resource, whatever the thing that you have. You worked hard at that. So when somebody tells you what they feel like you can't do, okay. Somebody told me it was gonna rain tomorrow. And didn't rain tomorrow. I didn't feel like that wasn't the end all be all. Oh, you lied to me. Or it didn't hold me back from whatever goals or that I was gonna push forward, right? It didn't do none of that. So that's the outer influence. It's the outer, I guess, hurdle you gotta accomplish when you set out to do more than what you are, right? But then the biggest enemy, we get caught up on that outer one because it's the most obvious one. And the one we like to pay attention to because it's easier to fight that battle versus the real battle, the inward, the internal. You know what they say, the mind is the real battleground. Like that's the real battleground that happens up in here. That's the true fight. You overthinking, you trying to plan everything, because it's me too. I'm probably, that might be one of my biggest obstacles, is me trying to overthink the situation beforehand, right? Even with this project, even with the project that we did, right? When we got the wood delivered, I'm looking at it. You start thinking of how much work it is. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Do I know how to do this? Have I ever did this? When you do all these things, what if I mess it up? What if I'm doing it all wrong? What if I waste the wood and I gotta buy some more wood? Do I got the money for that in the budget?
It's expensive out here.
All these things, right? You do all those things in your mind, and you never take that step forward. Some people, it stops them, that they crumble. What is it? Paralysis by analysis. And the only remedy for that is to take a step forward. Instead of hypothesizing something, realize it. Oh, what if? Do the thing and then find out. The thing that stops us from that step, I feel like, Vanessa, is we feel like failure is like a negative thing, or not hitting our mark is a negative thing. And it's definitely not a negative thing. For whatever it is, what it's not is not negative. Even if it impacted you unfavorably, it's not negative, because now the next time you start, you don't start from the same position like you started originally. Originally, you started from scratch. Now you're starting from a form of experience. So the two different things, you'll never be what that was. And the only way not to be that bottom of the pole is to experience, to do. You got to take that step forward and, do the thing that you're wondering about. Experiment, and that's what this journey, especially on this particular project, right? Because this is the first time, like I said before, first time I ever spearheaded something from inception, and actually not just inception, in totality. You get a hand here, somebody hold this for you. Two of my students help me out. Measure this over here while I do this. Kind of help speed up the process a day. But the last last 3 out of 5 rooms, I put up myself. Brace this side. Luckily your boy been to the gym a little bit, got a little stamina, can hold something over here, and God bless me with these little monkey arms. So, nigga can hold a 72-inch TV, corner to corner. You know what I'm saying? I slap box with on Jones. I'm just saying. I'm just give him something. I give him something to think about. But that was something that I wanted to share. I definitely want to share, and I'm constantly going to share because this is something I'm realizing. Because a lot of times I get scared and I want to quit midway. You start because you don't want to fail. So I'd rather quit than fail, and that is already. That's already backwards logic. That's already a form of defeat, a form of, what do you call it? Like self-destructiveness. Like you build it in a failure. So like you built a house on sand. You might have got the house all the way up, but you did all that work for a temporary satisfaction or whatever you want to call it. So that one thing propels you to the next thing. So next time you start from scratch on a project, you can keep that perspective, right? That, I felt like this when I did the other thing, when I built the lemonade stand. I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing then. And I kept going. I bumped my heads and I knew there was some bumps, but I recovered, pivot, whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it. And you move forward and you get to a certain level of success. Success is subjective, right? So you hit whatever benchmarks you're trying to hit, and you carry that same principle to the next venture and the next venture and the next venture in your life. Same thing with relationships. What bad or what I don't want to say bad. I don't like the word bad. Unfavorable, right? The unfavorable things that happened wasn't just they just fucked up things, and if you don't take those as okay, so those are things I need to look out for as I don't like. These was indicators of that, so that going forward, those issues or those patterns I don't fall susceptible to, or all around ignore. I know how to spot them. Don't want to deal with that, or know how to maneuver with those patterns. You know what I'm saying? Because they're no longer hitting you from off guard, right? So we're gonna get into my new favorite segment. Now I don't call it topic. My new favorite segment of the podcast. This is the Sit Down with Dre Brown segment, where we take some questions sent to us by our viewers, sent to us by our family, YouTube family. You gotta finesse. You gotta make that distinction, right? Because people start watching your content and get real familiar with you. And we are family. We are family. And I love y'all, and I couldn't do what I do without y'all. But that's YouTube family, right? It's like your work people.
Yeah.
You fuck with your work people for real. But like you see me out with my kids and my family, let's not do that. So what's our first question?
Our first question comes from Kiana J, 28 years old. She wants to know, should I let the small things go my partner does to keep the peace, or confront them each time?
I like how many dynamics is in this question. So we got to define like small things, right? Because small things are still, so a better word said things is small offenses, or I've been offended in some kind of way. I took offense of something that's happened. Small, not threatening, not life threatening, like a paper cut. It's like a little paper cut, or somebody threw a paper ball at you. No harm, but it's definitely not something to ignore, right? We still don't want to ignore the fact that somebody stepped on our toes, because if we don't acknowledge that fact, it very well can happen again, right? Maybe not from that person, but in another instance, right? What can happen is we tend to ignore those and they accumulate, right? That's why when she says each time. Now, each time it gets dangerous, because if we haven't already made this offense known, if we haven't already did that, then we can't expect the other person to, or we can't read what they're doing as intentionally trying to harm us, or because it could be blissful. Like you just don't know, because you ain't saying nothing. They might thought it's cool that they stay out till 4 a.m. because you don't ever say nothing. You just be sleeping in the bed and you wake up and cook breakfast like it's nothing. But really you steaming about it, because like, come on, my boy, in your world, where is it okay to come home at 4 o'clock in the morning every weekend like it's cool? And like no kind of nothings, but you gotta realize this is in your world. It potentially in his, not saying that he can't understand it and that y'all can't come to a mutual understanding on it, but if you don't make it known, right? And also it has to be, you have to like declare, not necessarily declare, you have to make these declarations in a constructive manner. You definitely can't. Vanessa, how many times has your girl been right and you've been able to pivot off of it because how she came at you?
Pretty often.
I mean, because that's the easiest out. Now if I'm really disappointed. If she comes to you, I'm disappointed that you did whoop. I really thought more of you. I would have never did anything like that to you. I thought you had more respect for me than to hurt me in that manner. That she comes to you like that. That shit.
I thought you was different.
I thought you was different. That cut deep. When she don't give you like the hand clap shit with it, like when she like how your mom hit you. You know what I'm saying? Like how your mom, like that, how they give it up to you. I'm not mad at you, son. So let's all say it together. I'm just disappointed. Nigga jump off the bridge. But it's that, right? It's the way you give it up. Now, that comes a key, there's some ownership in that, you knowing how to communicate with your partner effectively. Not spitefully or vengefully. Not, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not trying to get your hit back. You're trying to make amends and come to a resolution, right? Like so that the other part, the offending party sees, damn, I did hurt you, and you give them space to make that amends. But if you just suffocate it with, how ain't shit I am and this, that, or the third, and I'm always fucking up. The logical reflex thought would be, man, why you with me? If I'm all this horrible ass shit, I ain't shit, my daddy ain't shit, my granddaddy wasn't shit, my son ain't never gonna be shit. Damn, Gina. That's how you feel? So what do you like about me? You know what I'm saying? It's so if you're really trying to make that right, make that together, that cohesive unit tight, you speak on it. Hey, it hurt my feelings when you talked about my wig being stiff. Oh, baby, I was just cracking, but I'm sorry. Man, women think we these club and I'm talking, baby. Hey, you know no better. But damn, if you tell us, we will do. Like every other adult, right? So that's what I would tell you, Kiana. Hey, every offense shouldn't be a fight, but it's fine if every offense sparks a discussion. That's what I want you to take from that.
Right. There you go, Kiana.
There you go. Do we got time for one more? We got time for one more.
All right. Our next question comes from 26-year-old Monica, and she wants to know: is trust broken? Monica. Is broken trust a death sentence for a relationship?
Ooh. Damn. Hey, Vanessa, this is one of them ones. This is one of them ones. You know when you go to church, when you ain't been to church in a minute, and it feel like that sermon, he be talking to you. When it's just like a generic shit, a generic tribulation of most humans or adults that they go through this. But this one, okay. All right, so got a lot of experience with this. Currently, in the past, working through these things, right? Haven't necessarily dialed it in, but I do got a nice theory or a method that I've been doing, right? So check me out. It comes to this, right? The manner of the offense or the depths of the trust, right? So is it the fact that your trust was already not there, and then this person did something that resembles disloyalty or any kind of untrustworthy action, right? Then we got to do some self-work, have our trust good so that we know how to spot actual offenses. Now, that being said, this is an actual breach of trust. And let's take cheating off the thing, right? Because women, we talked about this before, it ain't as black and white with y'all. It's cheating like y'all put it. You know, it's sometimes cheating just gives you like an all-season pass to rag on my ass. Like it's like you're a pivot to get out of all your shit. Like the shit that you do that you should be taking accountability for throughout the relationship. Once I cheat and you take me back, now you ain't gotta worry about, because most women aren't like they have a man that they like, right? They're not promiscuous often. Like that's not to the most part. Now they might have like 1-2 dudes they like, but not like 15-20 dudes. You know what I'm saying? Cheating on the dude that they like with 15-20 dudes. They might, cheating on them between the other guy that she likes too, right? But with all that being said, if the trust is broken through a broken trust, like that real thing that's almost traumatic, right? Like they did something. They did the thing that you never thought that the person can do. Broken trust, if we're dealing with that, it's short. It damn near is, and I would suggest for it to be that like this. It's not like a death sentence where like it's just gonna go away. You have to choose not to partake, because oftentimes the offending party, they're not as fucked up about it as you, and like they're the part that's gonna get redemption from you taking them back. So that it's the offending party, the offended party, right? That party right there, it's almost you're living in. So you take your safe space, like you love you with your partner, your intimate one. You lay your head down. You talk about all the, when I was 16, I got beat up, stuffed in the locker, all that stuff, right? I wasn't really gangster, I peed on myself, all those kind of things, right? That women, the wrong woman weaponizes on them. But let's just say, that's just your safe space, right? Now that safe space, that same scenario environment gives anxiety and pause for you to be vulnerable in. It's like a threat zone. It's a combat area to a degree, right? Because I was open with you. I told you all this shit about me, and you still did the thing that, like, I might even told you, like, please never do this to me. Or it's just something that from the character that you displayed to me, I deemed it as, oh, you'll never. Like this, you couldn't see Mr. Rogers going on some purge shit, like going around in the sweater vest and the penny loafs, like axe murdering motherfuckers, right? Like Ned Flanders going ape shit crazy, like, because your personality shows like traits, like you shouldn't do these things, right? We shouldn't do these things, and you did the unthinkable to the most supportive person to you, to the whatever you call it, right? And so now you have you still have the love there. You still have the desire to be with the person, right? It's like you developed an allergy all of a sudden. A life-threatening allergy to this person now. That's what it's going to seem like. Because when you're around them, it may feel good initially, but the longer you bask in that relationship, it becomes so toxic that it numbs your senses of detecting toxicity. The trauma becomes normality. The triggers become emotions. And you have to make the conscious decision to not partake in that kind of. So Monica, Mo, I know you probably love him. He probably loves the shit out of you. But in decisions, we see people's character, and we have to judge that. And we have to be real with what we see. And if we choose to ignore it, we got to take what comes with that. Mr. Finessa, another great show.
Yes, sir.
Another great show.
Man, that last one gonna touch it for people.
You know what I'm saying?
Last question, yeah.
It touched me, shit. I was working through it, man. Like you see in my eyes, shit. We might come back. We might circle back around that. Yeah. Monica, check back in with us and tell us how that's going.
On that one.
Yeah, no, real shit, right on that one. Well, like always, this is the Trill Talk Podcast. I'm your boy Dre Brown. Join my boy Work Finessa.
What up?
Like always, like, subscribe to the podcast, to the channel. Until next time, I love you and stay up. Trill.